Hello boys and girls, good afternoon. Welcome to Critical English for grades 6 to 7. Today we're looking at poetry and we're going to be looking at two specific types of poem, and we're going to be looking at haiku and Limerick poem. So good afternoon Alicia and good afternoon Azaria. How are you?
I'm good.
You're good? Guess what? We're almost out of school. Yeah. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit quickly and then we're going to get into what we're doing today. So how's school going in terms of your exams? Are you doing exams or are you doing continuous assessment? What's happening? Alicia, and then we come to Azari. Azari, come up a little bit. You're a little too far from me. I feel like you're trying to go away from me. Yes, go ahead, Alicia.
We're doing continuous assessment, whereby we had assignments and throughout the term, and then at the end of the term, we add up our grades and we get our final score.
Yeah, nice. So this should be the term where everybody scores full mark, yeah? Because it's just assignment and next term it's exam. Yeah, big exams. And so how did you find grade 7? How did you, because I know it's a new experience for both of you. So tell me about yours, Azaria, first. How did you find grade 7? I know you're not accustomed to, first of all, several teachers for a different subject. Perhaps you had to go to your own room. Sometimes the teachers came, but then there are times you had to go to different room for different subject. So how did you find your first term in high school? Hard?
Yeah.
Why?
We had a whole set of assignments and we had tests.
Oh, so how many subjects are you doing now?
It's 14 subjects.
14. Wow, that's a lot of subjects. What about you, Azaria? Ali. Alicia.
I felt that a bit different because I'm more accustomed to being with one teacher. And the assignments were a bit rough at the first time, and then when we got down to November is when everything started to cool down.
Yeah. And then you started about October, yeah? You started school about October?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. I just wish that the grades, I trust that the grades are going to be nice, and that next term will be better, and that by next term you would have adjusted and become a little bit more comfortable with 14 subjects and of course making new friends and so on. So today we're going to talk on why we're talking about that is because we're going to look at something that really helps us to our experiences and how we can use our experiences to really shape one of the aspects of language, which is poetry. So today we're going to be looking at poetry. All right. And we're going to be looking at haiku. And we're also going to be looking at limerick. So, have you ever seen these poems before? Have you met them in grade 7?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yes, go ahead. Did you interact? Did you make those type of poems at any time?
Yeah.
Yeah? Alright, so Alicia, go ahead and tell us which type of poem you met before and tell us a little bit about that type of poem. Zaria. Yes.
I can't fully remember.
But you saw them. You saw them before. What about you, Alicia?
Well, we went over one of them in class.
Which one was that?
I think it was the haiku.
Was the haiku. The haiku. Alright. And what can you remember about the haiku?
I can't really remember much about.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine. So we're looking at the haiku poem, and one of the things we're going to talk about, of course, we have the word, and it's pronounced. This one is pronounced hai, as in the word haiku. All right. So that's the pronunciation. That's the first thing. Okay. and it's a 3-line poem, and it's one of those things that we don't necessarily interact with a lot, but it's fun to interact with. So it's a 3-line poem. I'm gonna put one on the board, and we're gonna talk about that, and then we're gonna see if we are able to see the form and so. So we're gonna do the haiku first. So there, the red sun sinks low beyond the dead tree clutching. See tree and old eagles and old eagle nest. All right, let's look at this. Now, one of the things about poetry, first before we look at the haiku, is that there are many types of poems. And based on its structure, that's how we come to look at the type of poem. All right? So each type of poem has its own structure, and it has its own purpose. So let's look at this poem. You want to read this poem? Let's read the poem together.
The sun sinks low beyond the dead tree, clutching an old eagle's nest.
Does this make sense to you? Do you understand what's happening here? No? When you read this poem, is there anything you can think about? It says, the red sun sinks low beyond a dead tree, clutching an old eagle's nest.
A sunset.
A sunset, perhaps. And what do sunset tell us? They tell us about what?
The night is falling.
The night is falling.
Is coming.
The night is coming, yeah. Anything, Alicia?
The sun is going down and it's evening time.
It's evening time. All right. So haiku poems are the type of poems, of course, that first of all they're describing, of course, first and foremost, this type of poem has to traditionally, and it has moved away a little bit from that tradition, has to do with nature, right? So a lot of the haiku poems that we are going to engage in, we'll see that it has to do with nature. It also has to do with capturing a special moment filled with emotion. So they can have haiku poems that deal with love, right? Anger, because those are emotional. And we also have in this poem talking about nature, and one element of nature in this poem is the sunset. Do we see that? The sunset. The red sun sinks low beyond a dead tree, clutching an old eagle's nest. All right. So the first thing is that they deal with two things. They deal with generally two things. What are those two things? I'll put them up here. It deals with nature and emotions. All right. Emotions that speaks about special moments. Okay? Do you understand? So we can have how we can have a haikus about love and hatred and those kinds of things. All right? And then we can talk about, so I'm being advised to keep the writing here. So I'm going to write here. So this one has to do with what? Nature and emotions. Okay? Now let's get into the poem itself. Now, haiku poem, can you remember how we do syllables? How we find the syllable of a word? How do we find the syllable of a word? sounds. So each word has sounds that come together to form a word, right? And when we want to learn a new word, we can break them up into syllables. So let's look at the first line. The first line says what? They. Is this one syllable? Can we break this down into anything else? No. So they read. What about the word red?
No.
Red sun sinks. Can we break this into more than one syllable? So the red sun sinks, right? So we have sink, we have the word sink, and when we add S to it, we'll get another sound, isn't that so? Sinks, right? Sinks low. So how many syllables do we have in the first line?
6.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One syllable, sorry. So the red sun sinks low. So in this first syllable we have how many? First line we have how many? 5 syllables. Let me make sure I have the correct spelling here. Yes. Syllables. Okay? And let's go to line 2. Beyond. Could we have more than one syllable in the word beyond? Be on a dead tree. What? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clutch in. Correct?
Yeah.
Do you agree? Good. So we have how many syllables in this line now?
7.
7 syllables. And what about the last line? And all. Anything here?
Yeah.
How many here?
2.
E what?
Eagle.
Eagles? Eagles nest. More than one or one here? 1. So we have how many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what did we notice? Anyone?
It goes in a particular way.
Yes, which is what?
The syllables have to be 5, 7, 5.
Lines 1 and 3 has how many? 5 syllables. While line 2 has 7 syllables. So this is the structure of the haiku poem. So we're learning a couple of things. First, we learned that the poem has to be based on nature. Then it can be based on emotion that speak to a memorable moment. All right, and it has lines 1 and 5 must have 5 syllables. Lines 2 must have 7 syllables for our poem to be considered a haiku. All right, is that clear? All right. So go ahead, take that quickly. Do you have devices? Yeah. So go ahead and snap it with your device, so we don't take up too much time there. So that's the haiku. Do you think that you can write a haiku poem now?
Yeah.
Yes? All right. So after you snap us here, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to write your own haiku poem, and then we're going to come to the Limerick poem. So you snap it so you can have it for your own purpose, yes? All right, good job. So first of all, we got to think about what our haiku poem is. So let me give you a prompt. Think about if you're in your backyard and you're sitting on a very quiet afternoon and it's not too hot, it's not sunset as yet, but it's like one of these cool afternoon. So write a haiku poem on that sort of scene. You know what you're seeing, you know what you're hearing, and remember, it must be based on one of two things. Traditionally, then, it's based on nature or emotions, and emotions speaking to memorable moments. And it must have how many syllables? 5, 10, 17 syllables. Where we have line 1 and 2, 5 syllables, and line 2 with 7 syllables. So I'm giving you 2 minutes. I'm keeping time because we want to get through looking at the Limerick poem. While we're ready, I'll take this off the board and then I'll put the stuff for the Limerick poem on the board. Are we almost done?
No.
No? What's happening? What's the hold up? Alright.
I wrote it, but it doesn't have a similar number of syllables. It has more.
It has more? Alright, we're gonna fix this in a bit. Alright, let's look at that. And then when we're finished we can come to look at the Limerick poem. So let me hear what you have, Azaria.
I'm not finished.
You're not finished? What about you, Alicia?
Late in the afternoon, out in the garden I be. With my eyes I see a beautiful world. Maybe.
Alright, so let's examine what you have. May I? Okay, so my board of pencil. So we have late in the afternoon. So this is correct. So we have 5 syllables here. Out in the garden I be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can take this out. Alright. So we can have our 7 syllables here. And then we can have my eyes. I see. Oh, so what about if you have a beautiful world? The world. So how many do we have? One, beautiful world. Oh, he's up there. Late in the afternoon, out in the garden I be, a beautiful world. You wanted to put, I see.
E.
Beautiful world. What about a beauty? I see. One beauty I see. Yeah? A beauty I see. So we get our 5 syllables here. Alright, so good job with the first 2 lines. Just the last line that we needed to rework. But now you have a haiku here. Yeah, good job. High five. Alright, let's see what you're doing, Azaria. So where are you? The cold breeze. So we have 2 here. Blows my hair. So we're gonna take out something right away. So the cold breeze blows. Yeah? Take out my hair. Chirping birds. Chirping of the beautiful birds. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we take out chirping beautiful birds. So take out this. So we have chirping beautiful birds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we put in chirping, comma. Punctuation will help us. The beautiful birds. How about that? Yeah, chirping the beautiful birds. And then we put another. We finish with another line. So finish off with another line. All right. So looks like we may not be able to look at the limerick. So could you finish that up for us for homework, Ms. Harrier?
Sure.
All right, good. So let's look at the limerick. The limerick poem now. So good job, Alicia. Good job, Azaria. I think you both understand the concept of the haiku poem. So what I want you to do is to go home and try to write as many haiku poems as you can. Remember, what should we have in the first line? 5 syllables. Line 2.
7 syllables.
And line 3.
5 syllables.
Yes, and it's a 3-line poem. All right, about nature or emotions. All right, traditionally. Sometimes it has over the years it has evolved, and now people are writing haikus on almost anything. All right, but traditionally it was done to talk about nature and talk about emotions. You have a question? Good. So let's look at the limerick poem. It's a humorous poem with 5 lines that always have the same rhyme and meter pattern. Lines 1 and 2 and 5 share the same rhyme, and lines 3 and 4 rhyme with each other. So I'm going to read you some limerick poem, and then we're going to talk about it. So line 1 goes, there once was an ape in a zoo, that's line 1, who looked out through the bar at you. Do you think it's fair to give poor apes a scare? I think it's a mean thing to do. What do you think about that? Alright, so let me try to scribble it on the board so that we can see it. Because Azaria is trying to, Alicia is trying to see it. Yeah? There once was an ape in a zoo who looked through the bars at you. Do you think it's fair to give poor apes a scare? I think it's a mean thing to do. Full stop. Good. So, is this funny? Do you think that this is funny? Read it. Let's try to read it again. Together this time.
There was once an ape in a zoo who looked through the bars at you. Do you think it's fair
To give poor apes a scare. I think it's amazing. Alright, so limerick poems are humorous, which means that there's a certain way that you've got to read this poem. Alright? So you can't read it like, oh, there once was an ape. No. Alright? So usually poetry comes with what? What do we call beats in poetry?
Emotion.
Rhythm, right? So usually, because we have them in song too, can we tap not? Rhythm, and then we move to the rhythm. So there once was an ape in a zoo who looked through the bar at you. Do you think it's fair to give a poor escape? I think it's a mean thing to do. All right. So we usually use humor. So when we say it in a certain way, it sounds a bit funny. So this type of poem is usually to help us learn and it's funny in the sense, and that's what the word humorous means. Something that is funny, right? A woman who lived in the high, she's something to die, something like that. So if we're writing our own, and what it says lines 1 and what 2 and 5, they must rhyme, isn't that so? Let's look at the ending. And when we talk about rhyme, we're talking about the ending this time. Alright? So, live in a zoo, you do. Do we see that? Yeah? Fair, scare. So, these are rhyming with these, and these two are rhyming. Alright? I want to read one more for you. This one says, there was a young girl in a tower who looked just like a fresh flower. Her hair was like silk. Her skin smooth as milk, but her breath made the strongest night cower. Do you get it? Should I go back again?
Yes.
Zaria? All right. There was a young girl in a tower who looked just as fresh as a flower. What's rhyming there?
Flower.
And?
Flower.
Yes. Her hair was like silk. Her skin smooth as milk. Anything rhyming there? Silk and milk. But her breath made the strongest night cower. What is this poem telling us about her?
She is pretty.
Uh-huh. But, there's a but.
But she is mean?
No. But her breath made the strongest night cower. Yes, Alicia. What do you think it means? It means that she has bad breath. Or what we say in Guyanese term. What do we say if somebody has bad breath? What do you say if someone comes to you and they have bad breath? You got stink mouth. No, so? So that's why it's funny. Because she is living in a tower. She's fresh as a flower. Her hair is like silk. Her skin smooth as milk. But her breath made the strongest night cower. So nobody wants to go around her because of her bad breath. Alright? So the limerick poem is that those type of poem that we want to write. And usually one of the things that my children enjoy doing about this is that usually I give them the assignment to write about their teachers, right? So that's your assignment. I would like for you to write a limerick poem on one of your most funniest teacher. Now that word funny can mean anything. It could mean that they're funny in their personality. It can mean funny that they look funny sometimes, because sometimes we as teachers look funny, right? So they're not gonna admit to me. Do we look funny sometimes? No? No. Do we do funny things sometimes? Teachers don't do anything that make you laugh? Yeah. They can be silly sometimes. Yes. So your homework is to write a limerick poem about your teacher. Alright? One of your most funniest teacher. Okay? And so that is the end of our program today. Today we looked at 2 types of poems. What are those 2 types of poems?
Limerick.
Limerick and
Haiku.
haiku. So let's talk quickly about what they mean. So you spoke about haiku. What did you learn about the haiku poem?
The haiku poem has 3 lines.
Yes.
And the first line has 5 syllables. And the second line has 7 syllables.
Correct.
And the last line has 5 syllables.
All right. Go ahead, Saria. Tell me about the humorous poem as I take it off from the board because you were going to look at the board. Yeah? Go ahead. Tell me about the limerick poem.
It has 5 lines, and the first line, the second line, and the fifth line rhyme,
Correct.
and the third line and the fourth line rhyme.
All right. And it's usually very humorous or very funny. All right. It's that poem where we can put in and we can tell our jokes, right? If we have jokes and we want to tell our jokes, we can use that type of poem to tell our jokes. And that's all the time that we have today. Thank you for joining us. Please stay tuned for math, and I will see you tomorrow.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Critical Math, grade 6 to 7. And today we're trying to have some fun. We're coming down to the end of the term. And so today we are playing Math Pictionary. So what is going to happen is that Alicia, so we have Alicia and Azaria. And if you notice, Azaria is facing me. So we don't want to see what's happening on screen. But you, the viewers, will be able to see the word on screen. And so Alicia is going to look at the cue on screen, and she's going to describe to Azaria what it is without actually saying the word. All right? Now, if there's a chance that Alicia believes that, you know, the word is a bit, or the phrase, or the term is a bit difficult for her to, in terms of assessing, you know, to describe, she can say pass, and then we will go to the next question. So we'll have maybe 2 rounds. So Alicia's going to describe 5 words to Azaria, and then when it's Azaria's turn, Alicia's going to face me, and then Azaria is going to look at the screen to actually describe what is happening to Alicia. All right? So let's begin. All right. Great. So that's your first cue, Alicia. So you have to explain that to Azaria. So I'm going to make my tally.
It can be in the shape of a tire, and it can be in the shape of a tire, and it can also be in the shape of something you eat.
Circle?
Very good. It's a circle. So we give her 1 point there. Yes. Next.
I just look.
No, you can look. You look, and because you need to get the cue. Azaria cannot look at the screen.
It can be in the shape of your face sometimes, and it can also be in the shape of like a ball.
Novel?
What? Something is going on here. Azaria, that's nice. Or your description is very good. All right.
Okay. It can be in the form of a cutted sandwich divided in 2 parts, and you can use it. It has to do with degrees, and it is
Triangle?
close. Wait.
Go on.
Acute?
Acute.
Acute angle?
Yes. Azaria's on a roll today, man. Okay. Or you're seeing something. Let me see if there's a reflection somewhere. All right, great. Next cue.
Okay, so this shape is very familiar, and it has about 8 sides, and we did it about 2 weeks ago, where we were dealing with parallelograms.
What's it now?
Close.
Part of. What else is coming to mind? The 50. The money? $50? Sorry, the $10. The $10? I'm just giving you a clue.
8 sides? 8 sides?
Yes, that's what she said. So it's a polygon. It's a polygon. And she mentioned 8 sides.
And it goes by his song Oh.
Be careful, because remember you cannot actually. Okay, so that's it, or you want to move on, or you want to try another way of explaining it to her? Okay, go ahead.
It can also be
Oxygen?
close.
What did you say?
She says
Think carefully before you say it, right? So, but you're close.
Pentagon?
8 sides, she said. The big shrimp. Yeah, come on, Azaria, come on. Any other clue for that?
it has many angles inside.
All right, you want to pass or you want to pass? But the clue was octagon. That's what she was trying to say. All right, so you said octagon? It sounds different. Didn't it sound different? All right, okay, no problem. All right, next word. So you look this side, okay. So that's a cue. All right.
It has to do with like you taking away something, and
Nicely said.
it's practiced all the way through primary onto secondary, and it's very popular in mathematics.
And you can add in probably it's an operation as well, right? So repeat what you said earlier. You're the clue, yes.
It can be used to like take away something, and it's very popular in mathematics, and it can be used in various equations, and
You're getting a lot of clues.
it's mainly yeah,
But what's the word?
another word for it.
Yes, but what's the other word?
Minus.
What's the other word?
Oh, minus.
You're in the zone, yes?
Addition?
Mm.
Division.
Clone.
Multiplication.
Come on. It's an operation, like she said, when you're taking away things.
Minus.
The operation. What's another word for you? Mentioned a word before. What's another word for it? What's another word for that? So you have 2 numbers. You're taking them away. What do you call that? All right. One more try? Another clue for that?
Okay, it's like you have 2 pens, and like they're not similar.
All right. Well. All right. Okay, we're looking at difference. You're taking stuff away. You're finding the difference between them. Right? Subtraction that you use, but there's another word. Right. So, all right. Next word. Next clue. Oh. Is that difficult? All right. So we skip on that.
This one.
You gotta look at her, right? So
Okay, so for this one, it has like an something that okay, I see. Okay, for this one, it can be used to parts like stuff into like different parts, and it's also very popular. And it's I forgot its profession. Okay, it's used. It's a fraction. I just said the word.
no, you said the word? Oh, she said the word. So you can't say the word. So you can use terms like 3/4. What is 3/4? Half. 5/2. 1/3. What?
Fraction.
Right. So that is what she was trying to say. But she actually said the word, right? All right. So one more try here, and then we will switch side. All right. So we'll pass on this because, right? So we'll pass on that a bit.
Okay, so this one we started learning it at the beginning of grade 5, and it's made up of various mathematical signs that and when in it sometimes it may have like brackets between.
All right. Let's give her some help. Like brackets of, or you might see the acronym. You know about this? So what do we call this? Yeah. So what is this actually? So it's brackets of division, multiply, you add, and then you subtract. So what is this really? They're set down in a particular way, right? So you're supposed to do that first, then that, this on. So what do we call it? Come on. What do we call it? See, if you're supposed to multiply first and then add, then you subtract last. Depends on what is given. So what are you doing? All right. So if I have 2 plus 3 minus 5 into 4, right? Which one would you do first?
Brackets.
Good. So that, what does that say?
Brackets comes from.
Good. And then so what is this then? There's a special term for this. All right. She's getting a little difficulty. Order of operations. All right. So we're switching out. So you turn. You face me now. All right. So it's all right. We don't have to get everything right, but at least you know where we are. Great. So your turn. So you're doing the same thing to her. So you look at the cues from screen, and then so turn your chair a little bit more square. No peeking, right? All right. So Zaria is gonna try her best to explain to Alicia what's happening, right? And just like with Alicia's case, so if you figure out that a particular term or a word, you're having a little difficulty processing what it is, you can say pass. All right? Great. So let's scribble. Pass, or are you going to roll with it? Pass. All right. Anything coming to mind? When we were looking at angles, All right, let's pass. It's a bit, all right, no problem. Mm-hmm.
It has a particular shape similar to a square.
A rhombus.
But it flies up in the air.
Flies up in the air.
More clue. When?
And on Easter.
A diamond.
No.
Easter time. The thing that flies in the air. A kite. Great, she got it. She got it. So you notice, I remember when we did polygons, right?
Yeah.
And quadrilaterals, so we spoke of a kite. It's a mathematical term, but you can also use things outside of math to actually describe what is happening with the particular. All right? Great. Mm-hmm.
It's like a cone, but open.
A pyramid.
Similar, but it's in.
You can probably speak to the size. Right.
It's inside. Oh.
All right, let me put some help here.
Inside of the inside.
And angle.
Inside of an angle.
A degree.
It's called an angle. What type of angle?
You can't use angle. You can't use the word angle. So you can actually draw, right? But you cannot use the word angle. All right. So be careful, right? So everything else you can say outside of that, but you cannot use the term or no part of the word. Okay. Okay. Is that fine for you? If nothing is coming to, no, that's all right. We can pass, no problem. Mm-hmm. Great.
It's like a circle. It's round. Similar to a circle. And it's high.
Cylinder.
Yeah.
Great, she got it, cylinder. All right, cylinder. So she got 2, right? Cylinder. All right. Mm-hmm.
It has a sign at the top. When you're dealing with particular numbers.
You said numbers.
Direct integers.
Can't use numbers. She gave out the clue, so you can't use numbers. So the key is negative numbers, but she gave out the word numbers. All right, let's go. Mm-hmm.
They're close to each other. They're straight way.
You want to draw it? Come, you can probably let her figure out what it is. So you got to demonstrate there, all right? Figure out what it is. Help her to figure out.
It's on the side of a road. And they always stick together.
Straight angle.
No.
Parallel.
Yes, she got it. She got it. Great. Nice. All right, so you're making some progress. Mm-hmm. Come on. You give the clues or you can demonstrate.
It's
Give the clues or you can demonstrate.
It's like a cone, an upside down cone.
Or you can say it's a plain figure,
Yeah.
3 sides,
a triangle.
Yeah.
but
Oh, type of triangle.
it's a type, but you can draw it. So you can draw it, right? So it's a polygon, 3 sides.
Isosceles.
Yes. Isosceles. Great. All right. How many chances you had already? I'm seeing here 4. 1, 2, 3. All right. So one more. Pass. Okay, she wants to pass on that. All right. You can demonstrate because it's a picture, so you can actually see things. So that's all right. Come on. Be careful, Ann. Oh! I'm sorry. I said I am saying, you know, sorry about that. Okay.
Oh. You eat it.
Pie chart.
Part of the word she said, right?
Yeah.
But in relation to a circle. The symbol?
Sector.
The symbol?
Symbol.
You can draw the symbol.
I can't remember.
You can draw the, okay, let me, you can draw the symbol.
Pie.
Pie. I was going to put that as well. Great. All right, so, okay, all right, so we can, 2 more rounds, so we can switch around, so we'll have, all right, so you're facing this side now, so we're just gonna go twice, so just 2 times, and don't get too thick. You can come out as well, and you can actually draw for her as well, all right? Okay, so, ready? Let's go.
Pass.
Pass, okay, she wants to pass. You think you can have a go with that? All right, you want to pass? No problem, that's fine. So some of the concepts are what we did, right? Okay, so you can come on. So, Pictionary, you're drawing, you can draw it. The clue, come on. You want me to help?
I remember, but I don't really remember.
Like that?
Oh, it has.
Yeah, you can draw it. So, right, good. So I give you a star. You put up the line now.
Straight line.
Put up the line. So you can put it like up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Akitango.
Close, but
Obtuse.
what will you want? Put something there. Put 120. Put X. Anything coming to mind?
Angle. Degree.
The two angles. Come on, the two angles are what? All right, so she has this, right? So over here she puts 120 and here she has x. So these two are, come on, these two are,
When you add the two up, you will get
yes. When you add it to what would you get? That's what she's trying to say. And so we call these two, we can,
So it's an X.
what type? Type. All right, supplementary. Trying to say supplementary. All right. Supplementary angle. Add up to 180. All right. So I hope at some other time we can continue this game. All right. So today our students were trying to play Pictionary involving mathematics, and we've had Alicia and Mazaria, right, teaming up against each other, and Alicia has 4 points, and Azaria has 3 points, right? So, well, I didn't count what happens in the second section, and so thank you for being with us today. I hope that some of the terms that they've learned today or seen today were terms that we were using during our sessions, and so we want to thank you for looking and watching, and so in future we're going to continue to play Math Pictionary. All right, thank you for watching. Bye.